This is presented to you by Revora, based on material from Canadian Anti-Fraud Agency.
Okay, picture this. Your phone rings, and it's late. You recognize the name, but the voice on the line is just pure panic. They're desperate, and they're asking for your help. Your heart just drops, right? What do you do? Today, we're going to break down one of the most manipulative scams out there, the emergency scam.
I'm in trouble, and I need your help now. Chilling, isn't it? These words aren't just random. They are a key designed to unlock a trap. They're meant to completely bypass your logical brain and go straight for your emotions. That fear you feel, it's real. And that's exactly what the scammer is banking on.
So, let's get into the anatomy of this thing. This type of fraud is called the emergency scam, and you might have also heard it called the grandparent scam. But its goal is always the same, to turn your love for your family into a weapon against you, all to get your money and get it fast.
At its heart, the scam is actually pretty simple. It mixes two really powerful psychological triggers. First, they impersonate someone you trust completely. And second, they create this totally fake crisis that needs your help right now. It's a cruel formula, but man, is it effective.
And the stories they cook up, well, they're just believable enough to make you second-guess yourself. They'll say they've been arrested and need bail money, or they were in a car crash and have to pay for damages on the spot. Maybe they're stuck in a foreign country. Each story is tailor-made to sound urgent and plausible. Now, what's really interesting here is how this whole thing has evolved. It started out as the classic grandparent scam, a frantic call to a senior's landline. But it's gotten smarter. Now we're seeing the broken phone scam, which uses text messages and can target literally anyone with a simple, easy-to-believe request for money. And I really want to hammer this point home. This is not just about grandparents anymore. That's old news. If you have people in your life that you care about, guess what? You're a potential target. The scammers have definitely cast a much wider net. Okay, so how do they actually pull this off? To really protect yourself, you got to understand their playbook. They use a very specific set of psychological tricks that are designed to throw you off balance and keep you in that state of panic.
First up, the big one, urgency. Everything has to happen right now. They'll tell you there's no time to think, and that's the whole point. This pressure is completely intentional. It's meant to kick your brain into fight or flight mode so you don't have a single second to stop, think clearly, or make one phone call to check their story.
Next, they'll insist on secrecy. They'll say stuff like, please don't tell mom and dad, or they might even invent something that sounds official, like a judge has issued a gag order. This is just a clever trick to isolate you. They want to cut you off from the very people who would immediately say, wait a minute, this sounds like a scam.
And then, of course, there's the impersonation itself. But here's the really sneaky part. They don't just pretend to be your loved one. They often bring in a second person, a fake lawyer, a fake cop, to make the whole situation feel more real, more legitimate. It adds this layer of authority that can be really convincing.
Okay, now this is where the alarm bell should be screaming in your head. Look at how they ask for money. They never want a check or a bank transfer. They want untraceable funds. They'll ask for cash, maybe sent through the mail or even picked up by a courier. They might ask for crypto. And a huge one these days is gift cards. Let me be crystal clear. If anyone asks you to pay for an emergency with a gift card, it is a scam 100% of the time. That is a massive red flag.
All right, enough about them. We've picked apart their strategy. Now let's talk about you. Let's build your defense. Knowing their playbook is great, but having your own is how you win. You absolutely have the power to shut this down.
You know what your best weapon is? It's that little voice in your gut, your intuition. Scammers create all this chaos for one reason, to make you ignore that feeling that's screaming at you, hang on, this doesn't feel right. Your single best defense is to just stop and listen to it.
So in that moment, you have to force yourself to ask this question. Just pause, take a breath. What is that gut feeling actually telling you? Does this request, this voice, this story, does any of it really make sense? Trusting that instinct is the most important step you can take.
So let's run through the big red flags one more time. The insane pressure to act now, the demand for secrecy, like that fake gag order, any weird payment request, cash, crypto, gift cards. Also be careful with caller ID. They can fake it to look like a real number. And if your loved one gives you a totally new number to call them back on, huge warning sign.
Now, here's a silver bullet, a hard fact that just blows one of their most common lies right out of the water. In the Canadian criminal justice system, you cannot, I repeat, cannot be bailed out of jail with cash or cryptocurrency. It just doesn't work that way, period. Knowing this one thing can stop the scam dead in its tracks.
So here it is, your action plan. It's just 4 simple steps. 1, stop and hang up right away. Don't argue, don't ask questions, just end the conversation. 2, verify. Call your family member directly, using a phone number you already have for them, not the new one. 3, call the police on a number you trust, not one the scammer gave you. And 4, super important, report the scam. When you report it, you're not just helping yourself, you're helping protect the next person they try to call.
You see? What this all comes down to is flipping the script. It's about moving from a place of fear to a place of power. The scammer's entire game depends on you being panicked and confused. But now, you're not. Now, you have a plan.
And if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. They need you to panic. It's the only way they win. Your plan, to stop, to verify, to report, it only works if you stay calm. By staying calm, you take away their only weapon, and you take back all the control.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. You've seen right through the scammer's playbook. You now have a defense playbook of your own. So if that call comes tonight, you know exactly what to do. What's your first move? That's right, hang up. You're ready.